Well, the original Halloween series revisited Laurie 20 years later, showed how she was coping. Did you feel you got to do that in this?
Yeah, definitely. I know our Laurie Strodes are definitely different, especially 20 years later for her. Yeah, I did. I honestly felt like I could. I created Laurie Strode my own way, and Rob's way. It was more realistic, I believe.
Had you seen the H2O version?
No, I actually haven't. I haven't seen that one.
What do you appreciate about a good horror movie? Or do you at all?
No, I do. I love horror movies. What do I appreciate? I love the feeling of walking out and feeling very uncomfortable of what I just saw. I don't like walking out. I love that. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do, right? I don't like horror movies that I walk out and I'm just like, well, that was funny. Well, that was okay. That was great. All right, whatever.
So what has it got to be? Is it got to be like the, excuse me, psychologically scary, or does it have to involve a lot of gore and blood?
Either makes me uncomfortable. It just depends on how they do it. Saw, I was the first one. I was definitely uncomfortable, and just that whole concept was very uncomfortable. But and also Strangers, I was a little uncomfortable with Strangers because there wasn't really anything going on, but just the fact that nothing was going on and you couldn't do anything about it.
And why do you like being uncomfortable then?
Well, I mean, honestly, no. I mean, that's
what's wrong with you?
That's what
makes you think.
a horror movie's supposed to do. I think. I mean, all these horror movies like My Bloody Valentine, I walked out laughing. Like, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be uncomfortable and scared of what you just witnessed, which I think a lot of horror movies are losing now. It's like, get back to the original point of a horror movie.
Which is what Halloween.
Yeah.
The original. I mean, I came home and couldn't sleep for
No, exactly.
days.
Yeah. It's just like The Exorcist. I mean, like The Exorcist and the original Halloween, those were scary for me as a kid.
Yeah.
That scene when they wheel you in and they bring you into the surgery is really realistic. Like your father's job, did you also find that realistic, or how does your father's job prep you for stuff like that?
Yeah, I definitely did. That helped me a lot, especially with my dad being a mortician. But it was very uncomfortable because I was stuck in that gurney for like 8 hours straight and I couldn't leave. I couldn't get up or anything. But yeah, I mean, I've seen that stuff a lot, so it's really uncomfortable. I've seen that with my dad's work, and actually seeing it on screen because I got to see it afterwards. It's definitely uncomfortable.
Does it give you a different relationship to the whole concept of death, dying?
Yeah, I guess I look at it a little bit differently than normal people do. I know normal people are kind of like uneasy about it and sad about it, and it's growing up in it, I'm kind of okay with it, and I kind of look at it a little bit differently. I won't get into that because that's just a totally big topic. I can just sit here.
Very interesting one, though.
Talk about it.
Go ahead.
With the exception of like the ending scenes of the first movie, this one seems like a lot more physically demanding of you. Was this a tougher movie to make, the second one?
This one was, yeah, it was, honestly. It was a lot for me to do. It was very tough emotionally. Really, really tough emotionally. I felt like I was going crazy while filming this movie because I was just always upset or I was sad, or I honestly felt like I was bipolar. It was crazy because every time I was on set, it was just a different feeling. And to portray that, it just took a lot out of me.
We heard there's another version that shows more of you doing that.
Yeah. Honestly, like what you guys have seen, that wasn't all of it. There's just a lot more that I put into it with Laurie, and just Rob had to tone it down a little bit. It was honestly really sad. It really was, just seeing this girl just kind of go down and not be able to control it. It's really sad and heartbreaking and terrifying. It was fun.
I was sad that she had to buy her own copy of the book. Like, at least they could have given her a copy.
She had to pay for it. Wait, are you in this book? This is your brother. Yeah, no, I know. She had to go to a bookstore and buy it herself. They didn't send her a copy. Fucking Loomis.
One of the coolest things about this movie, from your perspective as a young actress, is, you know, you're playing against people like Brad Dourif, Malcolm McDowell, Margaret Kidder, like some great actors. So can you talk a little bit about working with the other actors in this movie, people that you respected, learned from, etc.?
Oh gosh, nerve-wracking. Totally, completely nervous. Totally goo-goo-eyed. I envy these people. I really do. I'm not just the actors, but Rob. I mean, just working with him. I'm such a fan, and to actually be a good friend of his is just amazing. And working with Malcolm, and he's an amazing actor, and to be able to just sit with him and have a normal conversation and ask him about his life and having that trust, and working with somebody new like Margot Kidder and hearing all these stories and kind of, you know, you're like, wait, whoa, what am I getting myself into? These are my really emotional scenes, and I'm about to work with somebody that I hear is really crazy. But no, but she's just so amazing, really an amazing person, and we got really close actually, and we only filmed for a day.
Right,
and that tells you a lot.
There were a couple scenes with you guys though, right? Because there's only one in the final movie.
Yeah, and we did that in one day. I met her the night before, and we did that the next day, and we felt so comfortable with each other. Yeah, she was great to work with. Brad, I love Chucky. So that's always like, hi, so Chucky, how was Chucky? How was that filming?
It's hard not to hear his voice when he
Exactly.
talks.
I didn't know it was him when I was filming the first one, and then I found out at the premiere, and I just went crazy, and then from then on I heard Chucky every time he spoke. So it's pretty bad. But,
Well, can you elaborate a little bit more on working with Brad and in particular Danielle, because Brad always has a lot bigger part. He's kind of like your surrogate father in this one. I thought he stole the movie pretty much.
Yeah, no, Brad is great. He's an amazing actor. He's very dedicated to his work, and you kind of get used to that. Danielle is great. I had a couple of tough scenes with Danielle, and it was just really tough to get out of. She's just so amazing to work with, and I feel like she's like my older sister, so it was kind of hard to get out of some of the emotional scenes with her. They're both really good.
I wanted to just talk about some of the effects and seeing these things, like, because there's some pretty grotesque things that happen in this movie, but seeing them firsthand. I remember when we were on the set visit, Wayne Toff was talking about, like, there's a wide shot and the guy's on the floor and Michael stomps his head, and Rob pulled you over not telling you what it was going to be. He's like, hey, take a look at this. Yeah. And then once you saw the head get stomped, you're like, oh my god.
I really freaked out. I I thought it was a real guy. And I just looked at him. I was like, "Oh my God, what did you do?" It was awful. The fact that
an animatronic body, a full body.
Oh wow. It was a real guy, and they had edited it together. And then all of a sudden, you see Tyler's big giant foot crush his face, and I just jumped and freaked out. And the fact that you can't tell the difference, bravo to Wayne. Seriously, bravo. I mean, every time I would go say good morning to Wayne, and there would always be like a dead body in the seat. And then, you kind of get used to that every morning. Oh, who's that victim? Oh, I see it. Okay, that's that guy. Yeah, he's an amazing makeup artist, and he did a few stuff on me this film. I didn't work with him last time, but he did a few stuff on me, especially at the beginning of the film with my hand, that whole prosthetic on my hand, and on my face.
So how do you move on from this, being that it was such an emotional ride for you?
Good. I go off and I join a band and be Lita Ford, and I did the Runaways with Kristen Stewart and Dakota Fanning, and the Joan Jett movie. I mean, that's how I move on. I think that's pretty amazing.
Kind of rock and roll, yeah.
No, it was great.
I don't know too much about that, but did you interact with Lita Ford? Are they like involved in it?
We didn't really meet Lita, but Joan Jett was always there.
Yeah.
During band practice, during the filming, she was always there, always hanging out with us. Like, it was great. And Cherie Curry was there.
Does that have its intensity too? That story?
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work because we basically had to have band practice, and we had to learn the instruments in like a short amount of time, and we performed for like 8 hours straight. It was I felt like I was Rob for a second. It's crazy.
So you guys formed a real band.
Yeah, basically. I felt like I was in a band and I miss it.
Which
I miss
of
rehearsal.
which of the songs did you get really good at?
Oh, goodness. Cherry Bomb, of course. Come on. All of us had something to do. And Dakota will blow your guys' mind. She's amazing in it, and so is Kristen. Cherry Bomb definitely, or I Love, what else? Queens of Noise. Yeah. We learned a lot of songs. We did a lot of performances. It was good.
This is one of the things about acting that you love the most, is that you actually can learn to play an instrument in a short period of time, or you can, become this.
Yeah, if somebody told me this like 9 years ago, that you're gonna be in a Rob Zombie film, being chased by Michael Myers, and you're gonna turn crazy, and then you're gonna go join Joan Jett and be in the Runaways and play Lita Ford, the lead guitarist, I'd be like, you're crazy. No, that's not gonna be me. Yeah, it's amazing. It really is amazing to be able to play all these different characters and learn all these different things. I'm very lucky. Very lucky.
I don't think there's 2 spoilers, but did you guys shoot multiple endings for Halloween 2? Because I feel like I saw something different than ended up on the movie.
What? What did you see?
On set, that is.
What?
Yeah.
I think that's out there. Yeah, we filmed a different. We did that in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
You can always make it better.
Or different.
Reshoots. Yeah, or different. You watch it and you're like, nah, no, this needs to change.
Can you talk about your relationship with Tyler Mane? Because obviously he's kind of like, he's scary to us, but I'm sure to you he's
Really?
a giant teddy
Is he
bear.
scary to you guys?
Well, he's only 7 feet tall.
Oh wow, yeah, no,
6'9".
he's intimidating. He's an intimidating guy.
But for you,
He's like my dad. He is. He's like my dad. I look up to that guy, and he takes care of me, which is great to have. But he's a really sweet, sincere, trustworthy guy. He's a good guy.
Now, I think I read somewhere, and I could have read wrong, that you had actually seen Halloween 4 and 5 and were familiar with Danielle's work.
Oh yeah.
So what was it like working with her, like in a Halloween movie?
Gosh, who hasn't seen 4 and 5? Danielle's like,
them.
what? There's a TV over there. We are about to set you in front of that. No, she's amazing. I think that was like out of all the Halloween movies, 4 and 5, and it was because of Danielle. No, she's amazing, and she's still amazing. Working, like I said before, every scene that I had with her was just really emotional, and acting off of her is so easy. And I think I said the scene with her, I couldn't get out of it, and it was because of what she was giving me. It's so easy to work with her.
No, I know, like now you're known as a scream queen. You did so much screaming in Halloween 2. How did you prep for all of that?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I guess I'm just good at it. I'm good at screaming. I really am. But yeah, I lost my voice a lot during this one. And I just felt like I just started talking like a man after a while. which could be sexy. I guess that could be sexy.
Have you ever met Jamie Lee Curtis?
No, I still want to. I really do. I would love to have a conversation with her. Maybe in the future. I know. Maybe I should have invited her to the
What would you ask her?
There's so many things that I would ask her. There's just so many things that I would ask her. I honestly would want to know what she thought of me, and how I portrayed her, and what she thought of the movie. That would definitely be a big question, because I would really love to find out what she thought of it. Because I know she gave so much of herself into the first one, and just to hear her input of my work would be great.
How do you go about when you have a scene with a big old scream? Do you kind of like prep yourself by imagining something, or do you just go ahead and belt it out?
Yeah, I don't. I don't know if this is a good thing or if it's a bad thing, especially when I'm dealing with something where I'm supposed to be really sad and upset. I'm not one of those people that go off and think about something sad and have to take like 5 minutes to get out of it. I'm not like that at all. I'm 2 seconds, rolling. Okay, you're rolling. Go into it, and then I'm done.
Huh.
It's just really easy for me to get out of it, which I think is good. Gosh, I think I would go crazy if it was the other way around.
Especially with this movie.
Yeah, no.
Since you are a horror movie fan, did you ever envision yourself playing Laurie?
No. I had no idea. My uncle would scare me with the Halloween mask when I was younger, and I absolutely was terrified of the movie, and I never thought that I would be Laurie Strode. Never came across my mind. Even when I first heard about it in auditioning, I was like, oh my god, this would be so great. And then I was getting closer and closer to it, and I was like, oh my god, so I'm going to be Laurie Strode. It's crazy to me. No, but I never envisioned it at all.
Have you
take home any artifacts? I'm sorry, from the set? Could you?
Yes, a few stuff, yes. Yes, I did.
And are you using
They
that to
love-
scare?
Yeah, I got the clothes. I got those clothes. And some of the paintings.
Are you using any of this to scare your uncle as revenge?
Gosh, he's coming tonight, so I hope he gets scared. He's gonna get scared just, you know, hey, so you wanna go meet Rob? Yeah? You wanna go meet Rob? Yeah, that's right.
Because we're like this.
Yeah, that's right.
If they had something interesting to do with Laurie for a third film, would you be kind of game to jump back in this role?
I'd be so game.
Right on.
Be down. Yeah. I would love to develop her a little bit more. I can see a lot that I could do with her. It gets me excited, really. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool.
Had you seen the H2O version?
No, I actually haven't. I haven't seen that one.
What do you appreciate about a good horror movie? Or do you, at all?
No, I do. I love horror movies. What do I appreciate? I love the feeling of walking out and feeling very uncomfortable of what I just saw. I don't like walking out. I love that. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do, right?
Right.
I don't like horror movies that I walk out and I'm just like, well, that was funny. Well, that was okay. That was great. All right, whatever.
So what is it gotta be? Is it gotta be like the, excuse me, psychologically scary, or does it have to involve a lot of gore and blood?
Either makes me uncomfortable. It just depends on how they do it. Saw, I was the first one. I was definitely uncomfortable. And just that whole concept was very uncomfortable. But and also Strangers, I was a little uncomfortable with Strangers because there wasn't really anything going on. But just the fact that nothing was going on and you couldn't do anything about it.
And why do you like being uncomfortable then?
Well, I mean, honestly, no. I mean, that's
What's wrong with you?
that's what
Makes you
a
think.
horror movie's supposed to do. I think. I mean, all these horror movies like My Bloody Valentine, I walked out laughing. Like, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be uncomfortable and scared of what you just witnessed, which I think a lot of horror movies are losing now. It's like, get back to the original point of a horror movie.
Which is what Halloween.
Yeah.
The original. I mean, I came home and couldn't sleep for.
Well, the original Halloween series revisited Laurie 20 years later, showed how she was coping. Did you feel you got to do that in this?
Yeah, definitely. I know our Laurie Strodes are definitely different, especially 20 years later for her. Yeah, I did. I honestly felt like I created Laurie Strode my own way, and Rob's way. It was more realistic.